This is a video sent by ISIS slave Fawzia Amin Saydo from captivity in Gaza. She was just 11 years old when barbaric Islamic State fighters stormed her hometown of Sinjar, northern Iraq, in August 2014. She was one of thousands of Yazidi people who were subjected to genocide by ISIS, with an estimated 5,000 murdered and more than 10,000 kidnapped. Fawzia was bought and sold 5 times and endured 10 years of hell that only ended when she was rescued from the Gaza Strip by Israel.
So it was first kind of the both of them, and then it was a Syrian one that was then Saudi Arabia, from Saudi, and then it was another Syrian one, and then after that was a Palestinian.
She has now spoken about her incredible ordeal for the first time, including how she was tricked into eating human meat by ISIS fighters. Fawzia didn't realise what happened until she started to feel sick and the thugs revealed the truth. It was the flesh of murdered babies.
It was 3-4 days. We were on the way and we didn't eat anything. So they told us they are going to cook for us food. But then they gave us the meat to eat. We ate, and while we were eating, the taste was weird, and afterwards we all had stomach aches. When we were done, they told us that that's the meat of the kids of the babies. There was also someone who got a heart attack and died at that moment. They showed us pictures of beheaded kids and babies. We showed them and said, "These are the kids that you ate now." It is very hard, but it was not our fault because we didn't have to do that without anything. So they forced us and they did us to eat. Of course, it is very hard, but it was not in our hands.
Enslaved by brutal IS thugs, Fawzia was hauled to the Syrian city of Raqqa in early 2015. She endured years of violence and rape at the hands of vicious ISIS fighters. Fawzia was sold as a slave in the several years she was held in Syria. She was then forced to marry a Palestinian ISIS militant more than 10 years her senior. He repeatedly physically and sexually abused Fawzia, and by the tender age of 15, she had given birth to a son and daughter. In 2018, ISIS was finally driven out of its final territory, Syria, and she lost contact with her captor. The young mum was sent to the Al-Hol refugee camp, which by early December 2018 held 10,000 people. 8 months after she was taken to the camp, Fawzia went to live with her Palestinian captor's family. She was taken via Turkey and Egypt with a fake passport.
So from Idlib, there was a tunnel to Turkey, the ground, and it was very tight. So some people even died because it was very tight. There was no air, nothing. And she said they had to go through this for 10 minutes. And afterwards, when they came out on the Turkish side, they walked 31 hours to the next house.
Before being driven into Gaza in 2020. But once in Gaza, Fawzia was subjected to vile treatment from her dead husband's family.
It was very hard for me. There were hard times, and they sometimes just break down. And also the people that were there, they were treating me bad. So yeah. So she was in a prison, and they didn't do anything. They couldn't go outside, nothing. So these men came in, and if they liked someone, they took them with them, and that was all. So we were just waiting, actually, or staying there. So she says that what Hamas wrote is absolutely wrong. It's a lie. Like, I was never free. I was forced to stay in the house. I was not free to decide where to go and what to do, because if I would have gone out of Gaza earlier. So I couldn't do that. I always had to stay under their control, and they were controlling me, so I had to always to do what they tell me. There was a case that Hamas came to us and held here, and also on the side she showed but it was not because of the paper. It was because she was with her friend outside without niqab. They said that it's not accepted by Muslims.
On October 9th, 2023, Fawzia sent out a plea to be rescued on TikTok from Gaza.
مزبيس رسالة يعني بجهني ما وهموكا أكيد والأخبار عدديتين إسرائيل وفلسطين شر النيفا وان هردو كذا فسهي بشوتكم ومش بيقدر يخلص كن يعني إيه بيجي كمت موقع إخوان نادي ونزعجي أزال فلسطين مدينة رفح هاتشي قلبي بس يعني بكفي فلسطين ده أسكار يعني كده ربفيز شميدي.
Her lawyer, Zemfira Tlabani, told The Sun after she was told of Fawzia's ordeal, the attorney contacted Scotty-turned-documentarian Alan Duncan, who began to help rallying support for a rescue mission. The secret mission involved Israel, the US and Iraq, including undercover agents, drones and a daring late-night rescue.
Half of her life as a slave of ISIS Hamas. It was like, Christ, I'm not going to promise anything, but what can I do? So I got my thinking cap on, contacted Jonathan and contacted Colonel Kemp, told them the story, and then it was a case of needed the doors opened to IDF and Kogat. Obviously, I'd been dealing with Fawzia. Everything had to be kind of done secretly, so she was giving up hope, so it was really, really hard at times. And there was one night in particular that, to be honest, myself and Jonathan, we actually thought that we'd never hear from her again, because Hamas had turned up and threatened her, but I also knew that she was getting taken into the hospital, her and other girls, and she was just at her wit's end during this.
So she says in all hospitals where the Hamas hidden, so they were hiding themselves there,
Yeah.
all of them,
Yeah.
and everyone knew that, and all of them had like weapons. Everyone had weapons around everywhere.
So all the hospitals are being used as Hamas bases.
Yes.
I honestly thought we'd never hear from her again, because I thought Hamas was about to kill her, basically. The main thing is she's now rescued, obviously all facilitated by the IDF and Kogat. She's now rescued and free to start living her life.
When I was in Israel and I knew there is no Hamas anymore and I'm free, then I was very, very happy and feeling free. I could breathe again.
And the Israeli hostages and their families, what would you like to see for them?
She says here, I hope, because I know how it is, what happens with them when they're in Hamas hands. I hope for their families that the kids get back soon to their families, because I know what they are going through.